Hi everybody, welcome to a Minecraft Lab video. This is how to build a Minecraft palace. And by popular demand, a lot of people have asked how to construct this palace that I've placed in the blog at Minecraft Lab. And here we go. So I'm going to show you guys how to build this. I'm actually going to improve it a bit. As you can see back here, I want to keep this consistent. We have a two pane back here, but I'm going to expand this and improve the design a little bit in our new build. So let's go over here. You notice all the diamond. That I was just being kind of silly there and edited that in. I edited the palace into this kind of flat world. The world seed, by the way, here is Frontier, lowercase, but yeah, so I just pasted the MC Edit schematic for the palace in, which, by the way, you could go to the download area of minecraftlab.com and pick up the MC Edit schematic for this palace that you see right in front of you here. But let's build it. And you need to start with a base. You need a nice big clear area. You need a lot of pine, a lot of sandstone, a lot of glass, a lot of glowstone, a lot of plank, a lot of fence, torch, and don't need a fence gate. But let's get started. So what you need to do is set up your base dimensions. This is the most important part, really, because this is going to dictate the size and scope of the house. So what I've done here is set up the corners, and the basic rectangular base that you see with the torches here is 19 by 41 rectangle. The front porch, I'll get a little higher in the air so you get kind of a bird's eye. The front porch here, you could kind of count the blocks if you put your resolution of watching on YouTube at 720p. You can see here that the front porch is a rectangular square which is 9 by 29. So 9 by 29, and that 9 by 29 would be from here, this block, to here in a rectangle back to here, 9 by 29. Now the other dimensions, you would come out, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the sixth would be your foyer. And then the foyer is 6 by 15. So this rectangle is 6 by 15. From here to here is 6. This square back to here is 6 by 15. And the whole rectangular area of this whole front area, of course, is 9 by 29. And let's see, you would count in, the placement would be right in the middle of the front, which would be 1, 2, 3, 6, put 1 at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 14 in. So count 14 in from each front side to there, and then zoom over here to the outside front, count in 14 this way. There it is. And these are, once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's at 7. So I think by seeing this here, you could get the picture. So let's get going. Oh, the fireplace. Fireplace, you're going to count in 19 from each side, and that should center it. And you're basically going to do this here, where you leave a gap. This will all be pine going through, so you put it 1 to the outside, make it like this, and I believe this is 5 across. 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. So So that's your base. Most important part. This will dictate the rest of your build, basically. So then you want to lay down, need to get a little higher in the air. You want to lay down pine as an outside base all the way around. This part I'm going to have you watch me do. Parts of this I'm not going to have you watch me do everything. I'm just going to give you the basic idea and fast forward the video and kind of jump back and, you know, show that we finished. But this part is pretty important, so I'm going to show you this part. Now the floor there, I dug out the whole inside. You can see how I dug that out, going one down, and we're going to put in sandstone all in here as a floor. So we've got our square base on the outside. Let's see, I also need it here. I shouldn't have gotten rid of that dirt. So this is going to come in like that, and also along the front. And we're basically just kind of framing in the base right now. And I need this side here too. Probably not so bad that I goofed that up. You get to see a little bit of a closer view of that. So there's our base. Next thing really that you're going to, I guess you could do the floor anytime, but you're going to want to fill in this floor. I'm going to spare you most of this. So basically go ahead and fill all of this in, and I will be right back. Okay everybody, I'm back and I've got this stuff finished. As you can see, we have sandstone all throughout the interior, and then this exterior foyer area or porch, patio, whatever you want to call it, is wood. I left 2 blocks down below there in front for the doors, and that's about it. We're ready now to start framing out the walls of the house. So the way that that is done, on each corner obviously you're going to have pillars of wood, and then it's gonna look, you can see the other one in the distance, it's gonna look like this. You start with sandstone, 3 glass, a sandstone, and a wood, and you're gonna layer it like layers of a cake. And I'll do this first layer just to show you the idea, and I found that the quickest way to do this is just how I'm doing it. Stand on top and work in a row, in a line. Just remember the formula: 1 wood, 1 sandstone, 3 glass, sandstone, wood. So you can see already how that's starting to shape up, and basically you just build it up. And these windows are 5 high, the windows themselves, the glass part. So you got some building to do here. Let's see, make that sandstone. I'll worry about the fireplace later. Start at the other end, because this fireplace can get a little funky with placement, and as long as you work from the outside in, you really can't go wrong. Then you're sure that everything else matches up. So yeah, just basically follow this formula all the way around. I'll do the first layer just to kind of give you guys the idea. But it's really the same formula all the way around, with a few exceptions. And I got to kind of get a look at where I'm at here, what I'm doing, because some of these meet up a little differently in the like nooks and crannies of this place. Let's see, how did I do it on that one? Okay, I started with a sandstone from the outside here like that, around the foyer. And did I do 3? Like, I'm looking at it in the distance. Yep, 3. So, and let's see here, I'll start at the other side to kind of finish off this porch area. Pretty much the same placement formula. I'm going to look quickly at the front of the foyer and the other house. Okay, that's how I did it. 2 instead of 3. See how some of it's a little different? 2, and then sandwich of 1 above the doors. Okay. So, for the most part, it's the same general formula, but some of it is, in fact, a little bit different in these tight corners like this. And that was done basically out of necessity of space, available space. And it looks like here we're back to the usual formula of pine, sandstone, 3 glass, sandstone, pine. And let's see. Yep, that's what I did wrong on this side. See, that's why it pays to kind of look at your sides before you start placing. So that one I had an extra wood there. There we go. Almost done with the first layer. Okay, there we go. So we have our first layer, and this basic principle here of design is going to build this place straight up. So I will finish bringing this level up to let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll cap it here with the pine, which goes all the way around, and I'll come back after that. But basically, this is like really kind of the easy part. You just match what you see below you, like that. So, be back in a few. Okay, I'm back, and I have some changes to what I've done. Actually, 2 corrections and one thing to kind of mention here, a couple. So basically, I just built up like layers of a cake and just copied that first level and built it up. That's all. Remember that it's 5 glass high and then a final layer of wood around the outside edge. The fireplace I built right up to the top and just boxed it in. Nothing real fancy or special. I put 1 layer on the inside. Well, actually, that's flat. I added this birch in a line across. Made the fireplace 2 block high. Put netherrack down there and just lit it. I put in some torches 4 up at every wood, or almost every wood. And the front, I built up, the front porch part here. And what you want to do with this is go 1 higher than the top of your structure for the base of the house. 1 higher. So this top cap here will be 1 higher. Now what I'm going to end up doing is putting in sandstone basically all in here, all the way through here, everywhere, up to these corners. And I'll spare you guys doing that on film. I'll do it off camera and come back. But all of this is going to be filled in everywhere up here to make basically the ceiling and the floor of the second floor. So just fill all of this in on the inside with sandstone and just continue going back all the way to this back wall. And probably time to cap that off. Not yet, no, because this will be capped like this. Because this is going to be a layer of sandstone coming all the way through here, like this. So like that, the two corrections that I wanted to mention. These two posts, I had them one too close to the foyer. So these used to be here and here. So I had to move them out. You want a gap of 2 between the foyer and the first post, and a gap of 3 between this first post and the outer one. So does that make sense? So all I did was move these two posts out 1 to here. So that was a correction. The other correction is that the back wall, notice that I have a 2 by right here. There's a double of wood. So what you want to do when you're building this back wall is when you're on the outside, or building up your layer of a cake, go into the second complete window, count from the corner to the second complete window, put another layer of pine there, and then do this. Sandstone, 2 glass, pine. Up to the fireplace. Makes sense? And I forget how I even had this at the very beginning, but it was pretty goofed up. But just count 2 full windows back and you get the idea. Okay, next thing I'm going to do then is go ahead and fill in the sandstone ceiling / floor, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've put in that layer of sandstone all across the top, which you can see there, and I've brought our second floor walls up some. Basically, I put in a border all the way around of pine, followed by glowstone, followed by mostly pine. But what I started to do as well is frame in the windows. And how you do that, by the way, this little outcropping here on top, instead of going straight across here with the wall, you want to jut it out like this. And that is done. I should probably explain that. You can kind of see what I did. I just matched, let's see, let me get down there. I just matched this line, count in 2, and start there. Go back to your level here of the main building, and leave a gap of 2 in front. Same thing over here, gap of 2 right here. And there's your placement, and just keep kind of going around, and it'll end up looking like this. So now the next thing was that I framed in the windows, or started to, and that's really pretty simple. And between pauses here, between breaks, I tried to think about the best way to explain this to you guys. And basically all you do is what you see here. Come up to the very edge with pine, and then on either side of your upstairs windows, you're going to start with 1 sandstone, continue across with glass, 1 sandstone, and then your pine again. Same thing on this other side, same exact thing, no different. And then for the front and back windows, basically all I did was I started with this window, and after getting this little outcropping framed in and built up some, just do kind of the same principle here. Start with sandstone, blah, and continue with glass, sandstone, and same idea. And basically all you got to do here is just be careful to carry this straight across so you know where your measurement is on the back one. Stay in the same column. There it is. That's where it ends. So your first sandstone is in line with that other one. Makes sense? So start it like that. Glass. And oops, that should be sandstone. And there we are. So another quick way to do it is simply to count out 4 from the fireplace. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your sandstone. So now we need to build up these windows, and all we're really going to do is just make a pyramid. Come on, I want to fly. And if you're in creative, you could fly around like me. If you're in a server where you're not allowed to fly or use creative, or you're in single play and you're doing this legit, then you would obviously just kind of stand up here and place as you go. More cumbersome, of course, but something to be said of building this legitimately, for sure. It's quite the project. And you can see there that it works out perfectly in a perfect pyramid. Now what we're going to do is place a single sandstone stepping up on the outside of each one. And I forget if I put one at the very top. I don't think so. Let's take a look. No, actually, I didn't do that top one. This one's going to be a little taller. This one's going to be a little taller, which I wasn't expecting, but that's okay. That's okay. So there we go. That's how you want to do it. You want to frame the outside edge of that glass with sandstone. And let's do this one here too. Just build another pyramid. When you break it down by its parts, building this palace is really not too big a deal. It's a lot of work, especially if you're doing it legit and gathering up all this resource. That's what I did when I first built the palace. So it's definitely a big accomplishment in a legit sense. Even creative, it's some work, but when you boil it down to its simple parts, it's not too hard, really. It's pretty makes sense. There's a method to the madness here, as you can see now. So frame this up, or border it rather, with sandstone, and still got one window left to go. And then one of the last, well, not last, but one of the last major structure things to even do here is to put the roof on, which we will get to once these are done. And what I would suggest for the roof is to start with the front and back windows, not the ones I'm doing right the second, the one, or this one, or the one I'm facing, but the front window and back window. Probably start with those. They're a little shorter, a little less to do with them, and I will be right back here in a second. Okay, so almost complete here with this part. There, I've got it pretty well framed up. Next step really will be to, I like to put a layer around the outside like this, whoops, of extra overhang. Now this is of course optional. And let's see, when we're standing here, I don't think I put this much overhang on the original, but that's okay. But I like that overhang there. I think I'm going to go ahead and continue that all the way around, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've got that little bit of border done, and you can basically, I'll give you a bird's eye, you can basically see what I did. Pretty straightforward. Now it is time to start building up the roof a little more, and it's pretty basic. You just do it like this. I guess you could really start by doing this here. Always a good place to start, especially if you're not in creative, is to start with your block on top of the sandstone at these windows and just kind of flesh this out like that. Then you've got a basis here to work from, and you just work backwards, and pretty much that's simple. And for now I'm going to bring these front and back windows up to the main rectangle of the house. And of course, if you're not in creative, you can just kind of do it like this, just watch your step. But I don't want to take, obviously, forever with the video. That's why I did the video in creative, or this would be probably a couple-hour video if I was trying to do it in non-creative mode, survival mode. So this is pretty much the idea of what you're going to be doing to create your roof. And I'll do a complete one side here so you can see it all. Come on, there. And that's what it looks like on the inside. So if you didn't look backwards, it looks as if we're in a complete upstairs, but of course we're not. And basically you just keep going, do both sides, really all sides, like this. And these are going to meet in the middle. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second. This roof line coming straight through here is going to meet up somewhere right in here with this roof line. And basically wherever they collide, and I'm not certain where that'll happen because some of this will go in, angle in toward the top. Might have to even work from the inside a little bit to kind of make it look decent from the inside of the upstairs, if that makes sense. But I will go ahead and complete most of the roof off camera, and maybe click back in here once I'm facing the roofs meeting dilemma and show you a little bit of that and give you an idea of what I'm going to do with it. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I have some of the roof done. And basically what I did before I started anything else really, I of course finished the wood on top of the sandstone on each window and brought it out one to create a sill or a overhang or soffit, if you will. And then I connected the top pieces. So I made a straight line, the very top one, and then a straight line from this very top one meeting to this one. And discovered pretty quick that the big windows at the sides go one higher than this, see? So this beam, which is the very top of the big ones, goes one over this beam, which matches the top of the smaller ones. So that's okay. So we'll have kind of a high point in the middle, and that'll look cool. So what I'm going to do, and you can kind of see here how I made these come together. You can see how this is all I did was bring these all back from the windows. They ended up meeting right in here. And then I had some extra inside here, which I just kind of did away with from the inside, and cleaned it up. So now, oops, missed one. So now it's nice and even and straight. And I will go ahead and on camera build this side right here, just so you can see how I did that. And then off camera, I will do, let's see, I'm gonna do it from this one first. From the front and back windows first. Then off camera I'll finish the other couple sides. But this will show you basically in full what I did. So you can see it's pretty straight up. You just bring this back. So there's one side. Now I'm going to bring, let's see, we got a little too much here, but that's okay. Whoops. Come on. Bring the big window back. And don't think too hard about how it's matching up at first. You can always, if you got an axe,